Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live podcast, where I, Sunitha, along with my co-host Tracy, we hop on every Friday and talk about everything North Fork. Sorry, it's been a week that I returned from my travels, but I'm still feeling the jet lag. I feel like I'm slowly returning to this weather. It's been gray and rainy and cool. I know it's fall. Technically, it's also fall because summer just ended and the weather is nice. But I was in Turkey where it was much warmer than it is here. So it's taking me a hot minute to sort of get into the fall mood. But I'm getting there. It's pretty. And it's a good season on the North Fork because there continues to be a lot of things to do. Obviously, there's so much to do in summer, but the fall here is so there's a lot coming up. Obviously, the farms are still growing, and there's a lot of produce, and there's pumpkins, and there's festivals every weekend at a farm. Good morning. How are you?
You know, you're talking about fall, but it's supposed to be 78 degrees today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I since I've returned, I don't know how to dress. I feel like I'm layering. Good morning, Drienne.
Oh, I made it.
I don't know if I'm hot, if I'm cold. We just
You,
closed
you
our
have to
pool, and
check
then
the
I'm
weather
thinking,
every morning. You have to. I ask Alexa every morning what I should wear because you don't know.
wait, you ask Alexa what you should wear, and she looks into your wardrobe and helps you?
I mean, someday that might happen, but I ask her what the weather is, and then I decide if it's short sleeves or long
I don't
sleeves.
get, it would be great if I had an Alexa that tells me, okay, it's Friday. Get out of your pajamas and put something on so you can be on camera.
Yes.
Good morning, Drienne. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Oh my God, you are in the beautiful barn that you guys just built.
Yes, yes, yes. So you can see it behind me. You can see the flowers. You can see the barn.
Beautiful.
So
Oh,
today is one of our big production days. So we're,
oh.
we're busy doing weddings and CSA and setting up the flower bar so people can come in and make their own flowers, their
All right,
bouquet.
let's jump in and talk
Yeah, tell
about,
us all about this.
yeah,
All right. All right.
it's called the North Fork Flower Farm, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and there are a few people involved. Like, is there 6 people? How many of you own it? Give us the backstory.
Yeah. So there are six of us, six partners, and we have five full-time employees.
Wow.
So it's become a fairly big operation. We are a 25-acre farm, and we planted about 8 acres in cut flowers, so specialty cut flowers. So we welcome people to come and walk in the fields, come in the barn, take a look at the flowers that we have, and again, make your own bouquet if you like, or we can make it for you. So we are open to all things flowers. We've been here for about 3 years, so we were very fortunate to find this farm in Southold. 20 acres are preserved, and so that leaves us a small pocket where we can build something, which is what we did was build this barn. And so the barn's been open for about, no, all summer. We still have a little bit more to do, but it provides us a great environment to do all the work that we do, and to have people come and enjoy this place and make your own bouquet. Do this.
So
Find
tell us
your
a little bit about the 6 people. Did you know each other before? Like, how did you find each other and know
How
that
did
you're
we
all,
find each other? Right.
yeah.
So in 2016, we were hosting a small gathering at our home in Orient. And my husband, Kevin, who's one of the partners, met Charles and Karen. And he said, Charles, what are you going to do now that you're retiring as an attorney? And he said, I want to start a flower farm. And my husband said, well, you should meet my wife. She wants to do the same thing. And we met. And then 2 weeks later, we were in the ground. We found a little place where we could start flowers in Orient, and we started planting. And so it was an eighth of an acre in Orient. And so there were four of us then. And then traveling along, we went from an eighth of an acre to 2 acres to a small farm on Terry Lane in Orient, which is wonderful. And we loved it there, but we needed to move on. because we lost our lease, so we had to find another place. And in that process, we met Al and Raquel, our other two partners, in the process of looking for a farm because they were looking for a farm. And we came together and we found this farm from it's a Moffat farm. So Tina Kozlowski sold us this beautiful property and we're very, very grateful. So we needed to do a lot. We had to put in a fence, we had to put in water, we had to put in electricity. There was a lot to do on day one. We had to move flowers from the old farm to the new farm, which we did on day one pretty much. And now it's blooming.
I was just going
It's
to
quite a
ask you
lot.
about that, Drian. So you had to take the flowers, the bulbs out of the ground and then replant them in your new location every time you moved? Is that what you did?
Yeah. So the perennials, we moved the perennials. So we had an acre at the old farm. We were 2 acres. We had 1 acre of perennials. And so that March, we dug up 1 acre of perennials and we moved those babies from there to here. So if you go in our field now, you'll see those those flowers. They really like it here. This is a perfect environment for flowers. There's enough rain and sun and it's not harsh and they're doing great. So perennials take a couple of years to really come into their own, and that's what you'd see over here with the peonies and the lambs here. It's wonderful.
So there's a hashtag that people use a lot that says flowers make people happy, right? And they do. But
Um,
it seems to me that the six of you, plus the five that you have employed, are the happiest digging in the dirt. I mean, as you're talking about all this work, because it is hard work,
it is
your
work.
smile is beaming as if you won the lottery. And here you are working hard to grow these beautiful flowers. I see Lauren Lombardi on here talking about how you brighten your flowers brighten her day. And I'm thinking she brightens everybody's day. So for her to give that compliment is so beautiful.
Well, I think flowers. I think even if you're in a grumpy mood, when you see flowers, you smile. I mean, it's true. Flowers communicate. They do communicate love, a friendship. They're uplifting. They lift your spirits. And so, and the soil, actually, I have to say, if you're working in the soil and you love to put organics in the soil and manure, so we amend our soil quite a bit. That alone, I mean, I know that sounds crazy and a bit obsessive, but when you really like the soil, you're going to make beautiful plants and
Oh,
beautiful
it doesn't
flowers.
sound obsessive. We follow KK's farm and they do all kinds of stuff. So
Right,
we're ready for it all. Bring it on.
right. So yeah, I think flowers are magical and they do bring positive energy into our lives.
So you mentioned you have a CSA and a flower bar. Tell us a little bit about both of those.
So the CSA, Community Supported Agriculture, you can buy flowers in advance by subscription. So that's another way of saying it. You can buy them by the month, you can buy them by the season, spring, summer, fall. And people sign up online and they subscribe to a month of flowers or a season of flowers. And you can either pick up here at the barn in our cooler, our brand new cooler, which we're so happy about, and pick your own bouquet. They're mason jar bouquets, so they're quite a substantial arrangement. And that is roughly the equivalent of $30 if you buy it through the subscription. And or we deliver. So we deliver both to the South Fork and the North Fork on Thursdays and Fridays. So it's a way to give a boost to farmers who need upfront money for seeds and plowing and help, all the things that you need in the spring and in the summer. So and it works well. I mean, people are happy to have flowers come on a weekly basis. Like you don't have to do anything; they just come, and then you
And
have
what a
lots of
beautiful gift idea, right?
yes,
For
yes.
someone that, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so we've been doing that. Well, again, if you were to talk to our clients, I think you would find that many are happy recipients of those flowers. But maybe that's a new idea for some people, but it's a great idea. It's a great idea to get fresh flowers every week without having to do anything.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the CSA. That's the CSA. And then the flower bar has just sort of happened. We have all the flowers set up in the barn, as you can see. Um, there's buckets and buckets right now of dahlias, of floss flowers, sedum, all kinds of things, celosia. And you can come here and you can either buy an arrangement that we've already made or you can make it yourself. And we'll
Okay.
probably set this up a little bit better going forward. I mean, we're just sort of cobbling it together right now, but I think we'll have tools in a little space so that you can lay out your flowers, you can use our snips, you can put it in the water, you can bring your own vase, and you can do it yourself. Again,
Oh,
we've
I
done
love
them
that.
for bridal parties, for bridesmaids. They come together and want to do something in advance of the wedding, and they come here and they make their own bouquets. So their
Oh, I
own
love
bridesmaid bouquet.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's actually it's quite a fun thing.
Well,
and
the barn is going to be a game changer for you guys because obviously you've had the farm prior to, and I have visited, but now this space, and it's huge. It's a pretty
yeah,
big
yeah,
barn. The space that you have created can do so many things. Like you hinted at one type of event. I know the web group hosted their meeting there, and
that's
everybody made their own bouquet. That was
right,
beautiful.
right,
So,
right.
what other types of events are you either planning or do you think could be hosted in the barn?
So we've done workshops, and we do workshops here. We do them on a monthly basis. On the third Saturday of the month, we do a flower arranging workshop. In November and December, we're going to be doing wreath decorating, because if you can see way up there, maybe way
Yeah.
up there
Yeah.
in the loft, we're drying flowers, and those flowers are
Oh.
going to be used. So the dried flowers we can use for making dried flower arrangements, but we also use the dried flowers to make wreaths. So that's something that we're going to be moving into as we get to the end of October. And we've done that for the last few years at a couple of, other places, because we had no place to do this. But now we can do it here. So those are the public workshops. People can sign up at any time also for a private workshop. So people email us and say, I'd love to do a birthday party for 10 people. Can we do it? Can we do it at the barn? And of course, this place is perfect to do workshops. So all kinds of workshops, and we're open to other ideas about some craft ideas. So we've been talking to other people who do not just ceramics, but press flowers and
Oh,
other
yeah.
kinds of I'm not sure exactly what you call it, but artwork with flowers that we can do here in the winter. Now, this is an unheated barn, so recognize that it's going to be a little chilly sometimes, possibly, but it's a place where we can get together and bring people together and do something. We've also done a few musical events. So we've hosted a few. Again, these are nonprofit groups to come here and use this space, and so that's something that we'll be thinking about more as we start to finish up the barn. We still have a few bits and pieces to do, so we're not done. We're not there yet, but it's a lovely space, and we can host events also in the field, meaning it is preserved land, but we have land in front of us where we can set up tables and have events with the
Well,
flowers in the
I'm
back.
lucky enough to have been to one of those stunning, gorgeous events very early on. I think you had just moved here, and Slow Food East End hosted a
Yes.
dinner in the flower field. And I still look back to that night because you get a stunning sunset over the field. And Tracy, I don't know if you've seen pictures of it, and I'll repost them. Literally long tables in the middle of rows of growing
Sounds
flowers.
amazing.
The sun was setting, and then I guess it was the middle of the dinner or just the start of dinner. It started to drizzle, and there was this panic: like, do we get up 100 people off the table and leave? But everybody waited it out, and then we got a double rainbow over the field. I mean, it was like I can't even explain how magical. And you get to
Wow.
experience this over and over, Adrienne. I'm sure many nights or evenings you're there.
Oh, it's wonderful. And you can come and you can walk in the fields in the afternoon about 3:30, and that's when all the birds start swooping down over the flowers, and there's bees and there's birds. So it's a wonderful time when the sun is starting to go down, especially these in the fall days when it's not really hot and humid, to be out there and just walk around and see the flowers and the wildlife, of course. So the
So, Brienne,
pollinators.
for people who are, just sort of like, oh, I'm going to take a drive out east, what hours are you allowed to just get out and walk around and come see the barn?
Yep. So we're open every day from 10 to 4.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, yeah, yeah. People do sometimes arrive earlier on the weekends, but our official hours are 10 to 4, anytime by appointment. Just give us, just let us know. We've had photographers who wanted to be in the field at a certain time, like later at night again, when you, as you were talking, as the sun was setting, they want to have the backdrop of the flowers. And there's another farm right beside us that has cattle, and it's kind of a beautiful scene with the flowers in the next farm. So for photographers, we're also open to that, to have people use that as a backdrop for their photos. So they brought, couples out here for the wedding photos in the field. So
Do you
we can
charge
do
a
that.
site fee for that?
We charge a nominal fee for
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just a
And
nominal fee
and you're
because
very
we.
generous and open with tours in terms of taking people into the field and looking at the flowers. Do you also do you pick?
No,
Like
we
cut
don't.
your own or
Yeah,
whatever that
so
would be called.
we say you pick in the barn.
Okay.
I like that. I like
Um,
that.
You pick in the barn. So when we harvest the flowers, we usually harvest in the mornings before 10 o'clock in the morning, when the flowers stems are full of water, and so they're perfect for. They're fully hydrated. We bring them in here and let them sit for a while, and then we put them in the cooler for at least 24 hours, and that fully hydrates the flowers, so they're going to last longer in the vase.
Well, that's a
So
great tip, actually. I just want to point
That
that out
is.
for anybody that's, I like, even I have flowers in the garden, I don't pay attention to. So there is an optimal time or a better time to pick and a way to
yes,
store it. Okay. So
yes, yes,
cooling
yes,
them down, does that help them last longer? You said it
yes.
helps with the hydration.
It does. So we put them in the cooler, and it forces the water up the stems. So the stems are full of water. It goes all the way up to the head of the flower.
Huh.
And that makes for a flower that's going to last longer in your vase. So
So,
so we do condition the flowers, and that's why we're really not a you pick. But again, like I said, you can pick plenty of these flowers right here. You can also cut it in the evening, so early in the morning, late at night, but just not in the middle of the day, because the water's all drained out. So that's the idea.
good to know. Drian, so you mentioned how the five or six of you met, and that your husband was retired, or so. Like, how do you obviously know a lot about flower farming? What is your background? How did you learn all this?
We all are, Charles is a master gardener. I just came to it from my own interest and my own garden. So you take what you know and you keep enhancing it and adding to it. And there's so much to learn every flower. Uh, I'm just telling you, it's an endless process of learning, which is a happy process. But it's just that there's so much to learn, and we're always trying to figure out how to do something better. So, with hydration, for example, we've had failures, and we continue to try to figure out, like, how can we do that part better for that flower? How can we get the yarrow, which part of it droops and part of it is fine? Like, why is that? I have no idea, honestly. So we learn and learn and learn. We have plenty of books. But I think a lot of it is about passion and intention to know, right? So you do trial and error, trial and error. And after we've been doing this for, since 2016, that's a lot of trial and error. And we're getting to the point where the flowers are well conditioned, so we're pretty happy with that. We're always experimenting every year with new flowers. So we plant over like 300 different flowers.
I was going to
Um,
ask how
Oh,
many, and I'm
wow.
shocked.
yeah,
I know you have a lot, and
I know.
the other thing I want to point out, sorry, I'm interrupting you, is that you grow a lot of what I would call uncommon flowers. Like you wouldn't see them in traditional bouquets, because you can walk into a grocery store and get beautiful flowers, but the
Right.
flowers you grow are not the basic you would see in an everyday flower. And something about that just makes me smile even more.
That's right. That's right. So we do seek out those flowers that are perfect in a bouquet. So we like to add, for example, we like to add herbs into the bouquet. So it gives you a little scent. We have a lot of mint, we have sage, we have all kinds of slightly scented greens. So there are scented geraniums. It's one of my favorites. Use scented geranium in a bouquet because it has such a fresh scent. And there are all kinds of scents. So we try to keep that a bit subtle. So that's on the green side. So adding herbs in, and a lot of people they don't add herbs in, but again, we lemon verbena. We sort of tripped over lemon verbena. We have Jerry Woodhouse was growing edible flowers on the farm for a while. She was planting lemon verbena to make tea. I looked at it and I said, "That's a really, really lovely green." And it smells lovely too. And we started adding it to our bouquets, and now it's a regular. So, like I said, we are doing a bit of trial and error. Some of the flowers that we grow, um, they're just different types of the same flower. So one flower like a celosia, there's probably 10 more, a dozen different varieties of it. And so you can dig into one flower and learn all the different subtypes of that flower. And they all come out a little bit different. I mean, I wish I could show you all the different types.
Well,
Um,
when we had the web meeting, everybody, many people made their own bouquet, and it was so neat to watch how different every bouquet
Yeah.
looked, even though you had like the, same like maybe 50 buckets or whatever of flowers, but like, the way people pick, like some with the long and the droopy and some like really,
right,
really floral. And
right, right,
so
right.
you're constantly 300 varieties is a lot of things to grow.
It's a lot.
What
We've
what's
got,
your favorite? What is your favorite variety? What's
so
your favorite flower?
I have some classics. In the spring, it's peonies, ranunculus, and anemone. Those three are three core flowers. And at this season right now, it's dahlias. I mean, dahlias, and within dahlias, there's, oh, I don't know how many dahlias types there are. We probably have about 1,000 dahlias in the field right now, and each
Wow.
one of those dahlias is going to make three little babies. So that 1,000 is going to turn into 3,000, 4,000 dahlias. So it
And
means
dahlias is something you have to dig up every year and store,
yes,
correct?
yes, yes, yes. So I think what we're going to be doing next year, since we have so many dahlias this year, is that we'll be selling tubers in the spring, just because I would like to add more dahlia types of the single
Mhm.
petal variety. Again, I could show you some of the different kinds of dahlias, but um, there are the big ones, which we call the dinner plates, which we grow in the hoop house, because when you get rain, like drenching rain, like sometimes we get, it will kill those flowers. It will knock them down. So we grow in our hoop houses. We have 4 hoop houses now with some of those bigger dahlias in them. So again, if you come and visit, take a look at what's growing on in the hoop houses. We're also trying to grow for Thanksgiving. So we're pushing our season as far as we can to get flowers for Lauren Lombardi for Thanksgiving flowers. So people could come here and make your Thanksgiving arrangements for your table. So again, that's a new thing this year. Again, we're just pushing, we're extending our seasons as much as possible so that we can have a longer year, because, we're seasonal, right? Our season starts in April and typically ends at the end of October. But with the hoop houses, we can start a little bit earlier and we can end a little bit later. And then
Yeah.
and then we start germinating. So we're going to be, germinating in December in the barn. We're going to be planting our little seeds and getting
So
that.
the field may have a season, but you're really working
Yeah.
all year long.
And we're going to be planting in those hoop houses. As soon as we're done with Thanksgiving flowers, we'll be putting in the ranunculus in one of those hoop houses for spring. So my
Oh,
favorite flowers tend to be those spring flowers, just because, maybe it's partly because for the winter it's dark and, you're looking for color. And then when spring happens, we have some amazing tulips that we had this year. I don't know if you guys saw them, but they all came up all at once. So the barn was full of tulips. And those tulips were so high. They were the tallest tulips we've ever seen. So I have to say, you can get really surprised by a flower that was like your everyday flower, and then it's suddenly like amazing. So even though I'm partial to those flowers, there are so many flowers that you're just like, that's a fantastic flower. Like
yeah.
Lysianthus, it's a fantastic flower. We like the little ones that look like roses, and we use them all the time for weddings and events.
Well, and some of
So,
it
You
depends
have a
on the nature gods too, right? Depends on what season you have. Just like the
yes.
grapes, some years they're really great, and other years. So I guess tulips had a good year for you this year.
They did, and we hope that they will next year as well. But there's also something that we're working on and experimenting with are grasses, like dried grasses, because grasses are beautiful in the winter in a beautiful vase, just
yes.
alone. So, this is something that I think that we're going to be working on in the barn, is looking at how we can display flowers better so people can see all the different ways you can work with flowers. You can do it from one single stem in a bud vase to a very large arrangement. So I go from loving the single stem in a bud vase to the very large arrangements. It's just sort of like, how do you feel today? What's your color today?
Well, we go
Yeah.
back to Siri and be like, Siri, what kind of flowers would you like to
Yeah. So we do all those things, and we're always open to new ideas. We we have our ideas about what we can be doing more and better, but people drop in, a lot of artists have dropped in and say, what about? And we're like, that's a really interesting idea. Why don't we try that? And so we're open to new ideas and seeing what will work here. And the bar's given us a lot of opportunity to think more broadly. Because remember, we did everything out of a little hoop house for 2 years, which
Wow.
if you
Yeah.
come and see, it's amazing how much we did in this tiny little space. So this is a much different space. I think we could probably do more. So we'll be doing pressed flowers upstairs as well. We haven't done a lot of that, but we'll be doing pressed flowers, pressed bouquets. So
So,
sometimes,
Brienne, for someone who's watching who has an idea right now while they're listening to you, how can they reach you online? Can they email you, or what's the best way
yeah,
to get to you?
yeah. So email at info@northforkflowerfarm.com. It's on our website, North Fork Flower Farm. Just go on our website. The email's at the bottom, and just say, "Hey, I heard this podcast, and I have this idea. What do you think?" And so we just say, "Come on in and drop in, or give me a call, and let's talk about it." Again,
Will you,
we're quite open.
will you be open year round?
Well, good question. As I said, the barn is unheated. We will certainly be open through the holidays.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out again how we're going to use the space as it gets a little bit colder. But probably after the holidays, we will be open. But we'll be working here. We'll be germinating. I mean, we'll have the dried flowers, we'll have the wreaths. So that will always be available. The pressed flowers will be available. It's probably January, February is a little bit of our quiet time. And March things start to get active again. And then April, everything is full blown, right? Everything is.
And you said people can, obviously you have vases, the glass jars that people can take in, but they can bring their own vases. But you also sell some local artist ceramic vases,
We do,
right?
we do, we do. Brian Burgess is doing some ceramics for us, and if you come and see, we've got some beautiful ceramics, and we're collaborating to try to figure out which vases, which ceramics look best with what flowers. So that's a collaboration, and again, we're open to collaborations of all kinds with different folks in different ways. So I just want to put that out there as well. This is really we hope to we think of this as a contribution to the community, that this is a space where people can come together, do things together, and have a creative space. There's other spaces all over the North Fork like this. We just hope to add our little space to it.
Oh,
Tracy,
well,
I
it
see,
is.
Tracy, I see a coffee and a working date in our future. We'll bring the
Yes,
coffee. There'll be flowers in the backdrop. I mean, talk
I
about
know.
work
I'm so
from
Yeah,
home.
I'm
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
sad I
yeah,
missed
yeah.
the web event there. That sounds so fun. Yeah. All right. So we have a comment from a viewer that they can't wait for the wreath making event. Can you tell us when that is? Is it scheduled yet?
Yes. So the first one is in November, and it's the third Saturday of November.
So just
The
before
fif- the
Thanksgiving.
15th, the 15th,
Okay.
right? And you can sign up online. So we do ask people to pre-register just because we have a limit. We can only, 25 people is about our max for most of these workshops. It's just what it is. And in December, we're doing it on the 14th, 13th, excuse me, the 13th of December. So we're doing it on the second Saturday rather than the third, because the third is a little bit too close to the holidays. So
Okay.
two wreath making workshops. We can also do private workshops. So just putting that out there that we can do private wreath making workshops and wreath decorating workshops.
Great. Well, let's jump into our NoFo Live 5, Jan. So, if you were going to take Sunita and I out to a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, your choice, where would you take us on the North Fork?
Oh my goodness. Are you really? I would do a picnic at the farm. How about that? I would do
Oh,
a picnic.
yes.
And I would probably go to a number of different restaurants around here and take the best of this and the best of that and the best of that and put a picnic together on the farm.
Accepted. We will be there.
That sounds, I'll bring my own chair. You don't even need to
Yeah.
have a chair. We'll bring a chair and a folding table. Oh my God, can we have it at sunset?
Yes,
Which is
yes,
really the
yes,
next
yes,
question.
yes.
Where, I mean, you're always working on the farm. So do you catch sunrises? Do you catch sunsets? What's your favorite time of day and where do you catch it?
It's the end of the day. It really is because the sun comes up on one side, and so the light in the morning is beautiful. But the light at the end of the day is my favorite time of day, when the sun is going down. And this in the fall, the light in the fall, especially on the North Fork, is beautiful. So end of day, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And again, it changes very rapidly. Right now, it gets dark earlier, but that's the time of day I would come out here
Well,
and.
it's also not brutal hot because in summer, which is your peak growing season, and which is really why I'm really glad you guys have the barn because all the arranging and all the storing that you guys were doing on the outside in the heat, you now have a space to be able to be inside. So, hence the fall is probably better for you to be outside.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, cocktail, mocktail, brewery, vineyard. What do you enjoy, and where would we see you?
Oh my goodness, again. I'll tell you what, we go to trivia night. This is a thing that we do.
Ah,
We go
At
to
the
trivia
brewery?
night at the brewery. It's just one of our favorite things to do, and we can take our dogs. So it's just again, there's lots of places to go, but that's just a fun thing to do.
And it's a fun night, especially because you would
Yeah,
go with a group of friends. And
yeah.
I think Tracy, you would enjoy. They also have a different trivia night, which is music trivia night. I
ooh.
mean, they include music in this trivia too, but I think they started another night. I don't know what
I
night
mean,
is the
I
music
love
trivia or
any
music
trivia
bingo
night.
or something like that. I know that would
Yeah.
be a thing.
I love any trivia night. I'm down.
You're
We
down.
just need
Okay.
a toddler version going on at the same
Oh, you can bring
table, and then
toddlers.
I'm all
It is
set.
so loud there, Tracy, on trivia night. You could definitely bring toddler on trivia
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. All right, Drian, when you're cooking at home, what farm stands do you like to hit up and what do you get there?
Well, we go to quite a few different farm stands for different things, but Latham's is our closest farm stand. We live in Orient, and so Latham's farm stand is the one that we would almost always go to because that's where we live. And so one of the things about the North Fork is we all seem to have our local farm stand, so everyone will go to their local farm stand. So that's the one that we would frequent the most just because it's in our backyard. But Al might go to another one because it's in his backyard. Everybody has our own little farm stand. So that's the one that we go to, and we love it because they have so many things. But I have to do a shout out to Wickham's for their fruit. So if I'm looking for fruit, that's where I go.
Well, Latham's is not in my backyard, but whenever I think of them, I will make the long drive there because they're beets, like everything there just looks beautiful, and
Yeah,
and of course is local and fresh, and so
yeah, yeah,
they're a great farm.
yeah.
Well,
So
we are so appreciative to what you and your partners are doing on the North Fork and your beautiful barn and opening it up to the community. But just tell us why you love being a part of the North Fork community.
Norfolk is really special. I mean, it really is a community. I can tell you that we've been in many places, we've lived in many places, but this is a place where people do come together in all kinds of venues. So there really is a community spirit here. And of course, we love the place. We love the sailing. We love the water. We love the farms. We love the style of the North Fork, which is relaxed. It's friendly, and it's a lot about preservation of the rural community and the community character. So again, community, the the way the North Fork has evolved to preserve the best of all of these aspects of what we have. It's a place where people have thought about this a long time, for a long time, and
Yeah.
we're sort of all reaping the benefits of that. But it's been going on for quite a long time to make this place special.
Well, so
Well,
many people are attracted to all the things that you mentioned about life on the North Fork, and over the last I mean, they've always been moving here, but I think the rate of acceleration of people moving here has changed in the last 5 years. And I'm so grateful for you for sharing your story of how you started your new chapter, because so many people are moving here and now need a new chapter in their life of what to do
Yeah.
here. And so the evolution of living on the land, growing flowers, having a new chapter is such a beautiful inspiration for people that are looking to move here and thought for what to do next and how to live with the environment that we live in, you know?
Exactly. It's perfectly said. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the beautiful flowers. I can't wait to come back and visit. I think we definitely are going to try, Tracy, maybe for the wreath workshop, but I think I want to come back and just like frolic through the flower fields. Are they still in full bloom? Like I know you said dahlias are growing. Are there still lots of flowers in the field that
Oh,
people can
there's
walk
lots of
through?
flowers in the field. So please come and take a look. The dahlia field, especially, it's full of beautiful flowers. So, yeah.
And
Yes.
so can you just shout out your address real quick? Where are you in Southold?
So we're on the North Road. We're at 48455 Middle Road. So we're between One Woman Winery and the little shopping center over here. So again, we're on the north side of the road. The farm, the sign is pretty vivid. I mean, North Fork Flower Farm is right there on the road with the white fences. So come on in next to the old red barns.
And you're open 10 to 4 every day.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Drian. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see
All
you
right.
next
Thank
Friday.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining.
Bye.
Bye.